And we are bringing you live coverage from Amritsar, where Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has just arrived at the Golden Temple. As we all have been tracking the story, we all know that Justin Trudeau is expected to be at the Golden Temple, after which he will be meeting the Punjab CM Captain Amrinder Singh. This is, of course, a very, very crucial visit for India and Canada ties. It's being looked as an icebreaker amidst reports that Captain Amrinder Singh was reportedly not keen on meeting the Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. As you can all see, the security has been beefed up at the Golden Temple in Amritsar. He has already arrived at the Golden Temple and is being welcomed by crowds thronging this venue. Trudeau, as we all know, is on a week-long official tour to India and has reached Amritsar. These are live visuals of Golden Temple.
मुलाकात कही जा रही है, लेकिन उस तो पहले जे गल की जाए सुखबीर सिंह बादल भी इत्थे उन्हां नाल मुलाकात करेंगे ते काफी सियासी मायने भी इस जड़ी फेरी है.
And to bring us more live update on this story that we've been closely tracking, I'm joined in by a correspondent, Jessica Taneja, who is reporting live from Amritsar. Jessica, we can see that the Canadian Prime Minister has just arrived. Give us a sense of what's happening over there right now.
Well, Akansha, of course, people are very excited. You see there is heavy security deployment with them right behind me, with more than 80 SGPC guards from within the Gurdwara premises who are escorting him, along with, of course, Navjot Singh Sidhu, the MLA here and the Cabinet Minister of the Punjab government is with him, escorting him. He'll now proceed towards the Langar Hall here in the Golden Temple to taste a bit of food as well, and then worship in the centre right behind us, where you see a lot of worshippers already flocked, but that hasn't affected anything because of his visit. The worshippers who come here daily are allowed to go in, and he is in fact somewhere around with more than 200 security personnel right behind me. It's a bit far away. He's going to take a full circle of the holy pond here. After he finishes that, he will be right here behind us, and we will be able to get you live visuals. But at the moment, he's here. This is a very historic visit, Akansha, because this is in fact after Stephen Harper, who in 2007 had come here at the Golden Temple in Amritsar. This is a very holy and a very historic place, very relevant to the Indo-Canada ties as well, especially with Punjab. You realize that, and you reckon that there's about 1.5% of population in Punjab actually are Sikhs. So, of course, a very dominant presence of Sikh diaspora. And this visit is being watched very closely from both the Indian side as well as the Canadian side. Of course, the visit comes at a time when there's obviously controversy as well at the backdrop of it. But this place has nothing to do with it. This is a different sort of a life events that could be covered in a different way, not being marred by controversy. But at this point in time, it's in fact quite a sprawl that Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is being welcomed. He'll be visiting and seeing all the small spots right around here. He'll be shown the entire premises. Now remember, this is in fact the worship area right behind me. He will be here in some time. He'll pay his respects, and of course, after which he will be escorted from here, and then he goes towards the museum. And then, of course, a lunch with the Chief Minister of Punjab, Captain Amrinder Singh there.
Absolutely. Jessica, coming to the lunch, the Punjab CM, Captain Amrinder Singh, is going to be the first senior official, from, India, who will be actually meeting the Canadian Prime Minister.
Absolutely, and that is very crucial again, Akansha, because the meeting has a lot of heavyweight controversy around it. But let's think of the fact that how important and how crucial could this be, and how much it could settle the ties between and the relationship between Canada and Punjab. Of course, there are a lot of tensions involved in the backdrop, but then again, a lot of is expected out of that particular meeting. And you remember that this meeting was not even on the cards. There was no official confirmation either from the Canadian officials or from the Punjab government officials whether this is going to happen or not. It was just yesterday when Captain Amrinder Singh had tweeted saying that he would, warmly welcome the Canadian Prime Minister and will sit with him for lunch and discuss various things. Of course, what is on the agenda, we're not really sure. But from sources that we're picking up, of course, there are going to be talks about strengthening economic ties between Canada and Punjab could definitely benefit a lot if Canada and India in particular have strong relationships, which could in fact benefit both the communities there. But trying to understand what exactly would be the point of discussion is in fact also about Canada's or Canadian Union Cabinet Minister's support to pro-Khalistani movements or pro-Khalistani separatist movements, which have been causing a bit of a concern both with the Indian officials as well as the Canadian officials, who have been battling this issue for some time. But that doesn't seem to be the dominant issue that is going to be taken forward in that particular meeting. But of course, a lot of different things that are on the agenda, and we'll get to know more as and when both delegates sit down and finally talk.
Right. Jessica, there is a lot of talk about, the Khalistan shadow looming over this entire meet between Canadian Prime Minister and Captain Amrinder Singh in Punjab. Also, let's not forget, he will be meeting Prime Minister Narendra Modi on 23rd February. How important it is for, Mr. Trudeau to actually address these matters?
Well, it is certainly important for Justin Trudeau to address these matters, because these are the concerns which have been raised by the Indian government even in the past. Now, if you recall what happened again in April 2017, when Captain Amrinder Singh had completely refused to meet, the Union Cabinet Minister of Canada, the Defence Minister, Harjit Singh Sajjan, and he outrightly said that I'm not going to welcome him, I'm not going to meet him, and he said it is his right. And perhaps that was also a bit tensed at this point in time. But that, forgetting all what happened in the past, now we'll be moving forward. But also again, the tensions that have been involved with Prime Minister Trudeau's visit as well, especially with the Khalistani, separatist movement bit, which India seems to think that Canada is supporting outrightly. But there is no, of course, so to say, claim to it, except for certain arrests here and there. But that also is being looked into. But of course, when he meets the Prime Minister, there'll be also other important things to talk about. The economic ties, the defence and the counter-terrorism cooperation that is on the agenda as well, and the defence deals which are on the agenda, which India could benefit. And if this relationship between the two countries is strengthened further, it's only going to benefit both India and Canada.